Hey guys, Level Cap here, and welcome to This Week in Gaming, your weekly news recap covering everything happening in the world of video games. This week we've got some major and exciting Battlefield leaks. Bungie announced a significant delay for Marathon, the PC game modding scene could be bracing for a shakeup, and much more. Battlefield Labs leaks kicked into high gear this week. The watermark displayed during the official playtest has changed from Labs to Battlefield Labs Alpha. This likely implies that the test build of the game is now in the alpha phase. EA reconfirmed this week that they will be revealing Battlefield news during the summer, and fans are anticipating a beta test to be part of the big announcement. Labs transitioning from pre-alpha to alpha could be a good indication that DICE is on track to deliver something playable to a wider audience. We also got a very rough first look at the game's campaign. The clip shows a squad of soldiers escaping a dam as jets fire missiles into it. And while it's clearly unfinished with missing textures and animations, it's still very impressive looking and really leans into the large-scale set-piece destruction the franchise is well known for. In other leaks, the latest build of the Labs Alpha playtest has implemented in-game VoIP. Players have also spotted fixed AA emplacements protecting spawn areas. The playtest now offers DLSS 4, which will enable better quality upscaling and frame generation for those who want it. We also have some new info about the Battle Royale mode that was data mined with 3 official images found in the latest playtest files. They show a handful of players parachuting down to a town called Fort Linden that was evacuated due to a massive explosion. There's a shot of 2 groups of soldiers shooting at each other in a smoke-filled room, and a third that shows a player holding a sledgehammer who seems to have used it to open up a hole in a wall, exposing lootable items like guns and ammo. If the next Battlefield game can really take advantage of its advanced destruction system in a Royale setting, I think they could have a real edge over the current Royale competition. I think Firestorm had a very unique angle there that just never got enough appreciation due to some of the other shortcomings of the game mode. Bungie has delayed the release of its extraction shooter Marathon, which was originally scheduled for September 23, 2025. The delay comes after some critical feedback from players during a closed alpha playtest. Bungie says they need more time to refine the gameplay, improve the survival and mystery elements, enhance AI encounters, and create a darker, more compelling tone that stays true to the original Marathon games. The studio plans to continue closed testing and will provide a new update and release date this fall. In addition, Bungie is currently hiring for several key positions on Marathon's team, including gameplay engineering lead, commerce and events art lead, test lead for meta gameplay systems, and principal product manager for game systems. Nexus Mods has officially changed ownership after 24 years under leadership from Robin Scott, aka Dark One. Scott cited burnout, stress, and mental health as the main reasons for stepping down, explaining that the pressures of managing the platform had become a bit overwhelming. Scott will remain involved in guiding the site's direction while day-to-day leadership shifts to new owners. The new owner is Chosen, a company that specializes in supporting and growing online communities via investments and management. Despite initial fears that the new owners might aggressively monetize the site or exploit their users, Chosen has publicly reassured users, stating in an official statement, "We're not changing the core model, no aggressive monetization, no paid mods. If anything, we're aiming for fewer ads, not more. Lifetime premium subscriptions and free accounts will remain unchanged." This is pretty big news for the PC game modding scene, as Nexus has been the de facto host for mods for decades. Hopefully this change of leadership preserves the value of the platform. The original Splinter Cell just got a community patch that might become the best way to play this iconic stealth action title. It's called Enhanced Splinter Cell, and it's available exclusively for the PC version of the game. That said, it also makes Splinter Cell Steam Deck compatible. The patch does a lot to modernize the game, enabling widescreen support and a fix for shadow rendering out of the box. It also enables several gameplay features like custom difficulty options, a toggle for the HUD, tweak lighting, and a whole lot more. It also includes fixed lighting effects and 2 cut content levels. This patch is basically the first major update the PC version of Splinter Cell has ever gotten and makes the game much more playable. The official version of the game requires actual modding just to get it running alone. The patch is available via the developer's GitHub and is still in active development, so expect bugs and unfinished features. Road to Vostok's latest development update was packed with major announcements. The game's fishing system was revealed and will feature realistic mechanics for casting a line and reeling in a fish. There'll also be boats players can use to travel around bodies of water for both fishing and tactical purposes. Map transitions have also been radically overhauled. The game's world is separated into individual maps you can travel between by interacting with a transition border. Previously, these were presented by floating green text. The new system features more traditional markers. Transitions have also been updated with a time and resource cost, so going from one area to the next fast forwards the in-game time by a few hours and also consumes some energy and hydration. AI and NPCs have also been expanded on with proper voice acting, new animations, plus enhanced gameplay mechanics like enemies using different weapon stances and equipment. These new features are planned for the game's early access phase, but a demo of the game is currently available on Steam if you want to check it out in the meantime. The 4.2 update for Star Citizen has now made its way over to the live servers. It offers a ton of new content. The headline feature is a new persistent PvE activity called Stormbreaker that has players locating and raiding labs in Pyro. Radiation has been added as a new environmental hazard, with spacesuits protecting you against it to varying degrees. Dynamic weather has been implemented, with moving rainstorms that spawn realistically with cloud cover on planets. There's also a new variant of the Prowler ship called the Utility, which focuses on stealth cargo holding with a more defensive weapon payload and 32 SCU of cargo space. You can now choose from 3 different Atlas exosuits, the Combat, Geo, and Rad. Each is designed for a specific purpose like combat or mining. There's also tons of balance changes and bug fixes in this patch that only time will tell if the game is more stable. There's apparently a hard lock issue right now that is affecting some players. FBC Firebreak, Remedy Entertainment's first self-published and first multiplayer game, launched for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series consoles on the 17th. Set in the Control universe, the game is a 3-player co-op experience where players take on the role of FBC employees, tackling supernatural threats in the shifting halls of the oldest house. Reviews highlight that FBC Firebreak successfully translates Remedy's signature strangeness and humor into a co-op experience with a colorful comedic tone where players are cast as office workers and can use makeshift weaponry to fight supernatural threats. However, reviews are also noting some rough edges. The game's early hours can feel kind of repetitive or unclear, with key mechanics and objectives not always well explained. Some criticize the grindy nature of certain unlocks and sometimes tedious objectives, which can make progression feel slow or unrewarding for less patient players. Despite these issues, many reviewers found the later hours more exciting, especially with the introduction of the gameplay modifiers called Corrupted Items, which add variety and unpredictability to missions. All future gameplay content, including new missions, will be free for all players, with major updates already planned for later in 2025. And that wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. Let me know what you think about the coverage in the comments below. Drop me a like if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe for more news content like this. And up next, check out my coverage of Scum's 1.0 release. The game has been in early access for 7 years and finally got its 1.0 patch. It's a pretty big moment for the game. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap signing off.